Hey, Adam Dukes here. Welcome to episode number 1 of Dadpreneur TV. This is going to be a live weekly show, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock Vegas Standard Time, which is Pacific Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The show's going to be probably anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes, I would say. I know that's a big range, probably more in the 5 to 7 minute range, but it could go as long as 10, maybe as short as 3. And I'm just going to cover some quick topics. We're going to talk about being a dad, being an entrepreneur, being a dad, being an entrepreneur, raising a family, building a business all at the same time. Talk about mindset stuff, talk about business stuff, talk about leadership stuff, all the kinds of things of working from home and raising a family, that work-life balance, supposed, is it a myth, things like that. It's gonna be live. This very first one is not live. It's just a kind of my intro video because I had to do like 7 different takes on it. So I don't have any script or anything. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. So that is what this show is going to be about. I'm really, really excited for it. I've had this idea for a while. I was lazy. I recently did a 30-day video challenge where I did 30 videos. I actually did 31 videos in 30 days, and my confidence in getting on video skyrocketed. So that's why the show is here now, because 6 weeks ago I was too much of a wimp to get on camera. So the first episode, I'm going to talk about visualization and the power of visualization. I'm going to share 2 stories with you, a negative one and also a positive one. About a year and a half ago, Christian, my girlfriend's son, he's 13, he was 12 at the time, 11 or 12 at the time, 12 at the time. Him and I were out playing football, playing pass in the street. We do it all the time. I love getting out there and playing with the kids in the neighborhood. And we were playing football, and he was talking, always asking questions, and I used to wrestle back in high school. So he was asking me about wrestling, and could you get hurt? Or could you break bones wrestling? He was thinking of UFC and WWF, I guess. This is just high school wrestling. And he was wondering if you could break an arm or break a leg. And I was like, yeah, you certainly could. It's not that common. And he had thought, what if you kind of slam a guy down, could you break his arm? And he's like, yeah, I guess if it could happen. It's not likely, it's probably not going to happen. Anyways, we continue playing pass. We finish up, go inside. Later on that afternoon, it was like a Saturday, he goes to his buddy's house, and they're playing, and he spends the night there, or is supposed to spend the night there. And we get a call at 9 o'clock 9 o'clock at night, and he goes, he broke his arm. And so Amanda rushes over there, takes him to the emergency room. They're there till 2 in the morning, and I fell asleep. And the next day I said, hi, Mal, he's in a cast, what happened? He's wrestling with his buddies, and the one buddy went to throw him down, and he went to break his fall and broke his arm. Exactly. I mean, we scripted it basically out in the street. It was very weird, very eerie. Obviously not the right visualization, and whether we visualized it or not, but we were talking about it, and that's pretty much almost exactly how we did it. His buddies were wrestling, threw him down, and he tried to break his fall, exactly how we talked about it. It was very creepy, and I was reading a book about visualization at the time, which was mind-blowing. So that's the negative part of visualization. The positive part is a story I want to share with you. I've always had a dream to take my dad to the Masters, the golf tournament. His birthday is on April 9th, so it always falls right in that week of the Masters. The Masters is usually the second week of April, and sometimes his birthday is on that Sunday of the final day. Sometimes it's on the Tuesday. They do practice rounds Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the tournament starts Thursday and goes to Sunday. And so I've always had a dream to take him. It's extremely expensive. I could never afford it. Last year, I wrote it down, and I read it out loud to myself. I didn't have the money. I was getting close, but I couldn't afford it. I didn't have the money. So this year, what I did was I wrote it out daily. I wrote it out, and then I spoke it daily like I did last year. But I also had my graphic designer. I got a picture. My mom sent a picture of my dad and I at their house on their golf course. But coincidentally, I had my graphic designer edit out the background, and then I had the graphic designer put it on a Masters picture that I found online of a very, very famous hole, the hole 12 and 13. It's got a bridge. It's very, very famous, called Amon's Corner. And so I had my graphic designer kind of put that on the background, the Masters backdrop. So it looked like we were at the Masters. And it actually looked almost real in a way. And so I put it on my desktop background, and that was my screensaver and also my background. And every day I would just I visualize every single day. I try to spend 3 to 5 minutes and just kind of think of how the day is going to go, how next week is going to go, next month, 6 months, a year from now, 5 years from now, all the things that I want. I just kind of lay down and close my eyes, sit down, whatever, and just think of all the things that I want to happen in my life. And I try to make it as real as possible. So what I would do is I would visualize like the plane, the trip, the plane, the driving to the Masters, what to expect and all that. But I also occasionally would sit back, just kind of sit like this, and I'd minimize everything, and I would just kind of stare at my computer screen, the picture of my dad and I at the Masters, and just sit and stare at it, And that was kind of my visualization when I was at the computer desk, and I saw that picture all the time. Well, this year, I happened to have enough money, which I think it was about $4,500 in total with, the tickets were $1,400 a piece, I think. And we went to a practice round. Ridiculous. But we did it. We went on Wednesday and took them there. We flew into South Carolina. That's where you stay. And then you drive to Georgia, rental car and all that. But did it. And I credit a big part of it is because I visualized it. Like I said, last year I wrote it down and I said it out loud. And I got close. I didn't have enough money, though. I got close. That was as close as I had got over the last 5 years since I've wanted to do it. This year, I actually visualized it, had that picture taken, or had that picture done up, by the graphic designer, put it on my background, looked at it. I saw it all the time, Anytime I sat down on my computer, I saw this picture. So it was constantly like in my face. And it worked. I actually got to take him, and it was awesome. He was like the best birthday present ever. I'm hoping to make it an annual trip now and go every year. So that is the power of visualization. It can work negatively, like I said, when Christian broke his arm. It can work positively when you think about when it's something positive. So visualization is woo-woo, as some people say it is. It works. It's extremely effective every time I've done it and focused on it and really did it. Not half-assed it. It has worked for me. Obviously, you have to have a plan in that. You can't just say, I'm going to close my eyes and $1 million is going to fall out of the sky. You have to have a plan. You have to put the work in. I did put the work in, but hit the goal. So visualization is real. It's very powerful. Give it a shot. Try something small. I know the one is like visualize or manifest a penny, money, and you get the penny, just to prove yourself. Oh, wow, look at that, A white Tesla. I've always talked about I want a white Tesla. And so I will kind of joke around about that and say I want a white Tesla. When I think about white Teslas, like when I go out in the street and drive around, like I typically see a white Tesla within 10 or 15 minutes, Whether that's manifesting or visualizing, I don't know. But that's kind of a similar thing, but kind of start small. Visualize a penny, visualize little things, I'm going to close a sale today, little things like that to kind of build up your belief system, and then go after that big stuff. So visualization does work. Give it a shot. And that will be, that'll wrap up episode number 1 of Dadpreneur TV. Make sure you subscribe. This will be on YouTube down below. This will be the very first video. Make sure you subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them down below. If you have any ideas to talk about, please let me know. I'm an open book. This is a new venture for me and everyone. So thank you.